Welcome back to Partick Hill Station. Today we're going to do an interesting little how-to project that I'm sure you'll enjoy, and you'll find a spot for it on your layout. So without any further ado, let's jump right into the workshop. Well, here's another little interesting project that I've come up with. I'm going to be making a corrugated iron fence, and there's a corrugated plate of the type that I'm using, and I've lined them all up. They are about, in scale, they are about 8 feet high, and this will be for my scrapyard. And then I'll run these two horizontal bars, and then I'll use possibly this here as the posts, and space them maybe 6 feet apart. And then I'll paint it up and rust them. So this is balsa wood or basswood, whatever it is, and a couple of dollars for this type of thing. And then that will be a nice little addition to my scrapyard. So the next stage is to glue the wood to the tin foil, and I'll have to use crazy glue for that. Don't know anything else that would work. Anyway, we'll see how that goes, and that'll be next. So I use crazy glue or super glue, whatever one you're more familiar with, and I dabbed a little bit on the joints of the corrugated iron sheets. I held it in place with some tape, lined them up, and then dabbed it with a little bit of glue. And then I took a piece of balsa wood or basswood, whatever it is, and run it across near the top, and then I'll put another one near the bottom, and then I'll put the posts in place, maybe put them every 6 feet. Now these sheets would scale probably about 30 inches or 36 inches wide. So that'll be a nice little fence to keep rogues out of the scrapyard. Now I've been attaching the posts. This one needs a little bit of an adjustment. And once I finish these, then I'll start to paint it. So we'll see you then. So I used a heavy foil material to cut and make the corrugations on this, and I had a little bit of a problem gluing them to the wood and to each other. Now what I didn't have was the activator, and that may have made life simpler, and I'll have to get a bottle of that somewhere, because I had to do 2 or 3 applications of that super glue, crazy glue stuff. Anyway, I think it's going to look great once I get it painted up, and then I'll put it on the layout by the scrapyard. I'm not going to fix it down because I still got lots of work to do there. So now I'm just applying some brown acrylic just to give it a bit of weathering. So this is a burnt umber that I'm applying, and I'll follow that up with a few different colours and see how it looks. So while the other side is drying, I'm just going to put on a black acrylic just to begin with. And we'll let it sink in, just wiping off the brush a little bit onto a piece of paper towel. And you can see already it's beginning to look a little bit on the weathered side, and I may end up using my Tamiya weathering powders or some pastel powders that I've got to enhance it. I finished painting, weathering, and I've added a little bit of graffiti which I thought would be appropriate for the scrapyard. So I have a mixture of acrylic and weathering powders on here, and then I fixed the whole thing with a fixative or a matte finish, and I think that looks quite appropriate in use. So we'll put it on the layout and see how it looks there in situ. And I think that looks pretty good in place. I'll get it fixed later. I'll drill some holes in the top of the board and fix the posts in place. So there you go, a simple corrugated iron wall fence made from some simple products. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little how-to. And I must say that I got the initial idea from the guys at Bluffers to Buffers. I saw their scrapyard and that gave me the idea to come up with one for my layout, and I'm sure they had a corrugated iron fence. So I made those little corrugations and thought it'd make for a good little project, easy how-to. So thanks very much for dropping by, and look forward to seeing you again here at Partick Hill Station for more how-tos and more running of my trains. Thanks very much, and please remember to like the video, and we'll see you next time. Check over my shoulders, you might see some interesting videos. Bye for now.